And the latest buzz in Nigeria's public domain is the move by the federal government to acquire new presidential jets. Reports say the presidential fleet is dilapidated and obsolete, putting President Tinubu and Vice President Shettima in danger. But how are Nigerians receiving this multi-million United States dollar project in the face of the depletion of foreign reserves and the current hardship in the land? AIT's Anoyoyo Ogiaboge examines the circumstances leading to this bedlam.
April 2024, President Bola Tinubu's main jet was undergoing rehabilitation, and the second aircraft was traveling when it developed a fault in the Netherlands, forcing the Nigerian leader to travel to Saudi Arabia on a charter flight for the World Economic Summit Forum in Riyadh from the Netherlands. In May 2024, Vice President Kashim Shettima, who was originally scheduled to represent President Bola Tinubu at the 2024 U.S.-Africa Business Summit, was unable to make the trip following a technical fault with his aircraft, forcing him to make a detour on the advice of the Presidential Air Fleet. All these disappointments have fatal grounds for an investigation and the reported recommendation of the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence, asking the federal government to purchase 2 new aircraft for President Tinubu and Vice President Shettima. The committee is of the strong and informed opinion that, considering the fragile structure of the Nigerian Federation and recognizing the dire consequences of any foreseen and unforeseen mishap that may arise as a result of the technical or operational inadequacy of the Presidential Air Fleet, it is in the best interest of the country to procure 2 additional aircraft as recommended. But the recommendation is generating deep anger of the Nigerian people. The current hardship faced by Nigerians has deepened the prevalent toxic ambience between the government and the governed. A socio-political group, the Collective Movement, has kicked against the move, describing it as provocative and misplaced priority that raises important questions about accountability posture of the Tinubu administration. On its part, the government has put 3 aging presidential aircraft up for sale to reduce fleet maintenance costs. Proceeds from the sale are reportedly designed to acquire a new jet for the presidential fleet. The move to dispose the aging aircraft could be said to make economic sense, as the federal government has spent about 15 billion naira for the repair and maintenance of the presidential air fleet in 11 months. Certainly not the way to go for an economy that is on its knees. Head or tail, the diplomatic shuttle by the presidency must thrive. It's a big dilemma that confronts the present administration and deserves tough and quick response. Anoyoyo Ogiaboge, AIT News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the last has not been heard of the proposal to purchase 2 new presidential aircraft. One school of thought believes the proposed aircraft are necessary for safety reasons, while others say new presidential aircraft is the least of Nigeria's need in the face of the current social economic crunch. AIT's Funke Ogulolu has both sides of the argument.
House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence stirred the hornet's nest when it asked the federal government to purchase 2 new aircraft for President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima to the existing ones. The recommendation was contained in the report of the committee's investigation into the status of aircraft in the presidential air fleet. The development followed the report of 40 aircraft in the presidential air fleet, a development that forced the president to use a chartered plane from the Netherlands to Saudi Arabia during his recent trip abroad. Ever since the news broke, A number of Nigerians have been speaking against the move, with many saying the president cannot continue to spend money on luxury and asking Nigerians to be patient in the face of hard times.
Why now? Why now? That very jet is the one that the previous administration, this is what they have been using before. What happened? Can't they maintain it or repair it? And they are telling citizens to be patient for them, that they should endure. Why do they endure for us?
It's such a priority to get a jet when there are, I don't know, more pressing needs. I mean, we are hearing things about poverty and everywhere. In fact, the rising price of fuel, food and everything. So it's bothersome that the president is choosing to focus on a jet.
The topic of presidential shouldn't be a topic of national discourse. So what I feel we should just do is that we'll be talking about cutting costs. If we have, for instance, I don't know the total number of jets in the fleet, but if we have like 11, 12, let us cut down to like 5. 7, we can replace, we can get maybe 5 new ones. Then the money gotten from this selling the 7, we need to put it into poverty alleviation schemes.
Others believe it is necessary to avoid any mishap that may arise from technical or operational inadequacy of the old presidential fleet.
Our image, they represent us. So they're supposed to have the best of things so as to showcase our image on another on a different continent of the world that we are rich.
The presidential fleet has 6 aircraft, 1 Boeing 737, a Gulfstream G55-0, a Gulfstream GV, 2 Falcon 7Xs, and a Challenger of CL6, while 3 of the aircraft were said to be unserviceable as of the time it conducted its hearings. Funke Ogunlolu, AIT News Abuja.